Right. So we'll continue with the introduction and we will try to complete it today. Introduction will be completing today. And so tomorrow
Okay,
we
sir.
can start with the proper lectures, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I think I have introduced you about the project life cycle in our last lecture as
Yes.
yeah.
Yes,
So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and this thing I explained this Tekla structure. Okay, I will start from this and then right. So here you can see in Tekla structures there are two interfaces.
Yes, sir.
Just mute, please. Yeah, thank you. In Tekla structures, we are having two interfaces. So first interface is model. We call it as a model interface, and second will be your drawing interface. Okay, where we'll be working with the drawing, detailed drawings. Okay, so drawing here you can see below there is a sketch. So we call this sketch as a drawing. Okay, you might have seen many this kind of many drawings are there. If I can show you example of drawing, then so sorry. This is a drawing, erection drawing actually. So this is a erection drawing. You can see this is one example of a erection drawing where we have certain plan will be there and details will be added, plan and details, or say if we have some welding requirements that also goes in this erection drawing. Generally in erection drawing all the items, these are the items available in the assembly drawing actually. This is a different kind of project actually. Here we have listed all the assembly drawing as well as erection in one sheet. Okay, all is in one sheet. So generally this doesn't happens in all the project. Generally we'll be having a separate drawing for this kind of assembly drawings and separate drawing for erection drawing. So what we will do, uh, so this is an example of erection drawing. This is erection drawing, but we will not have assemblies listed in the erection drawing, right? So that was an example of, we saw example of one drawing, how a drawing looks like. So we have yeah, we have stop drawing as well. So this is a kind of shop drawing which we have. So this is a shop drawing. Okay, the shop drawing looks like this. Actually this is a part drawing. Okay, single part drawing. We don't have assembly in this. So that was a single part drawing, and similarly we will be having assembly drawings as well. So that is the example of drawing which I shown you just now. Those are what drawings look like. The outer frame in the drawing is called the layout. Okay, this is a layout, and there will be a list of materials, bill of material, list of material. We call it as a bill of material, or list of material, list of items. We can call these different names given by different this thing, different clients or different people. Okay, they try to give different kinds of name. So, and here there is a title block. This portion we call it as a title block. And in this title block, generally we'll be having the logos, client logos, and the project related information in the title block. And the other blank space which is available here, it will be listing the items. Okay, assemblies, part, all those contents will be listed here with dimensions. Okay, with their proper dimensions and marking. And weld, bolt, all those informations goes inside this sheet, right? So in model, so that is what drawing looks like. And in model, you are already aware that 3D model will be having all the 3D objects. Okay. So these are the basic elements of model. Okay, model interface will be having these basic elements which will be working on to create a 3D model, right? These are the basic elements available in Tekla structures. Okay. And these are the elements available in the drawing. Okay. Number of drawings you can see, 4 number of drawing types are available. 4 types of drawing types are available in the drawing area, drawing interface. There is erection drawing, assembly drawing, and single part drawing. These 3 drawings will be main drawings. And then we will be having the multi drawing, which is a combination of, now here you can see there are 2 assemblies listed here. So we are clubbing 2 assembly drawings in one multi drawing, right? So with that we get one more additional type of drawing that is called as multi drawing. So it is derived from assembly drawing, right? Multi drawing is derived from assembly drawing. So that is a additional drawing type which we have. Generally, we are using this multi drawing in US projects, okay, or US kind of project. Generally, in US, we are using this multi drawing technique to provide drawings. Why? Because they try to limit the number of drawings count. Okay, number of drawing counts will be reduced. Like say, if we have 10 assembly drawings, then for US in multi drawing we'll be having say 4 or 3 or 4 drawings are enough. Okay. So what I did that I combined the 3 assemblies in one drawing. Okay. So that way we get 3 sheets of multi drawing. Okay. So assemblies get divided in multi drawing and your number of drawing gets reduced. Right. So that's the way this multi drawing works. Okay. So all the information that is there, it is available in model interface as well as drawing interface. Okay. There is nothing beyond these 2 items. So we have to work in these 2 interface itself. So whenever you are going in some company, you will be dealing with these 2 interfaces. Right? So that was Tekla structures interface. What are the interface in Tekla structures that we saw now? Right? Now we'll go to background usage of Tekla structures, right? Here you are seeing a chart where where we have shown 2 systems are shown. Sorry. Now there is one system which is named as storage server. Another system is named as a multi-user server, right? On the left, it is storage server. On the right side, that is multi-user server, right? So what are these exactly servers, and what is their work actually? What work they are doing? So as below it is noted, you can see there are some paths given there on storage server. You can see Y, X, and Z paths are added there. So what is happening there exactly? That see our teams will be working in the network. So, this is a multi-user system. Tekla is what multi-user system, right? We will be working in the multi-user system, due to which we will have to locate the folders in the network, common network, right? So in order to access those files, we need to have a drive, map drive. We need to map those local networks to our intranet. Okay. So this is done by mapping it. So when you map any local network drive on your local computer, you will get this kind of letters. Okay, so your drive letters will be added there for accessing those uh, network drives, right? Or network folders, not drive, actually folders. So these actually US projects, that name you are looking at, that is actually a folder on the network. Right? That will be the folder on the network. So there will be department wise different folders will be there, like US project, RCC, rebar, estimation, business development, and then accounts, all those things will be there. So all those data will be listed in the storage server, right? Will be available. But when we are working on Tekla, so we will be dealing with map drives, because we don't need to every time go and copy those drives and paste again in your this thing while opening or while accessing the Tekla model. So we'll be using this map drive for directly accessing those folders, right? That is a method which we'll be using in multi-user system for Tekla structures for mapping the drives. Now, generally, what happens? This background usage, uh, generally, it is not explained in Tekla structures as well. Okay, in the Tekla structures training, they will not explain in deep about this background usage of Tekla structures, right? So, but here we are explaining this usage because you need to understand this, because whenever you go in a company, you need to understand how Tekla structures function in the background, because on your monitor screen you can see that certain things are happening. You are creating a beam, you're creating a column, you're saving model, you're modifying connections. So all those activities you are performing on your screen, right? But there is a process going on in the background, like your data is being saved in some location, right? So that is very important for you to understand this process. That's why I have added this topic here in our introduction. So this is related to actually storage. Okay, storage of our Tekla structure model data. Okay. And access, another thing is, first is storage, which we just saw, that is for storing the data. And the next one is on the right hand side, you can see there is a multi-user server, and there is one screen shown, that is multi-user server, user one got connected, like that one window is there. So that is a DOS prompt. I think you are familiar with DOS. Hello?
No, sir. No, sir.
DOS application. No. So I will just
Sir, it's been means many years, sir. I know, but
so DOS is a application. Actually, it is an operating system actually, DOS. So earlier to Windows, we were having this DOS operating systems, right? So before Windows came, we were having this DOS operating system, black screen, and we used to type.
yeah, 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 sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yes,
used to type all
I
the.
got it.
You might have seen in the Matrix.
Yeah, yeah, sir. That turtle we are turtle that you were using.
Yes. So just a minute, hold on. Hello. Yes. So this is a multi-user system, and what is the use of this multi-user system? That is having a multi-user command prompt. So this is a DOS window, DOS application window. And as I explained you, that, this is an old operating system before Windows, right? So it is still in use for some applications we are using DOS, right? So this is the same that DOS application. It is run by the DOS application, right? So this is a multi-user server which has been uh, which is giving the access actually to Tekla structure users, right? So there will be model, there will be users. You can see there is a model here. Different models are listed here, and there are users. And these are the teams. Teams T1, T2, T3. Ready? Different teams are there. And here you can find the users. Different users are there. User 1, 2, 3, right? 4. So what multi-user does is that it will provide the connectivity to these two items or these two things, right? So model will get connected to the user. Right? Whenever a user tries to open a model, it will get connected directly if it is a single user model. But if it is a multi-user model, multi-user model, then what will happen? Then at that time, uh, the link will be established through multi-user server, right? So whenever you are trying to open a multi-user model, this multi-user server will be activated, or it will perform certain actions. Like, for example, on your screen, you can see model list of models, right? And when you click on one model and open it, then your link will be established with the multi-user server first. Okay, then it will check that if this model is being accessed by someone for these three activities: saving, numbering, and opening. Okay, if somebody is doing this activity, then this model might be locked. Okay, for user one, then he will not be able to open the model. Right. Once these activities are completed on that PC or that system, then the lock file will be removed and other users will be getting access. So hope I'm clear on this, that whenever say user one is accessing the model, he's opening the model, right? So that opening process is started now on his system. So it will take say 10-15 minutes to open that model, depending on the size of the model, right? And at that time, model will be locked by user one. Okay, and that action will be performed by multi-user. Okay. So once this opening process is completed, Tekla will notify multi-user, right? This opening is completed. So this is communication between the two applications, and once multi-user gets the notification from Tekla that model opening process is completed, he will remove the lock and it will get access to other users. Okay. Once this lock is opened, other users can access that model, right? So whenever you are opening, saving, or numbering, you have to follow this rule that you have to go one system or one person at a time. Okay. So always it just needs some manual coordination to open or save a model, right? So whenever in a company, whenever we are saving some model, generally it will be like when you are starting a office, or when you are starting, when you're getting in the office and when you're starting your model, that time you will be facing this issue, or that time you need to coordinate with each other. Like, I'm opening the model, okay, you have to stop. Once my opening process is completed, then you can open. So you have to manually coordinate with all the members whenever you are opening the model, right? So that is the process. Then at the lunch time, they might be going for a lunch. That time they will be performing a saving of this thing, saving activity, right? Model saving. So what will happen at that time? Whenever there is a saving activity, so again there is a model lock applied. in that model, right? So again, they have to coordinate that a single user at a time, he will save. Okay. So that activity will be going from one user to other. Like first, user one will do the saving, then user two will do the saving, then user three. Right. So every time there will be a log file created for user one, two, three, whenever he's performing that action. Right. So hope this is clear. Now background usage. So now we will move on to the next session, that is configuration dialog box. Okay, that I call it as a configuration dialog box, and in that we'll be having a edit box for environment. It is showing an environment edit box there, and as I explained earlier in the first introduction lecture, that there are many environments in Tekla structures, right? US, and those are listed here. For example, is given here on the right hand side. You can see here. You can see there is example given of different environments. That is US, India, UK, Germany, Finland. So all those are environment listed here, and those list you need to separately install. Okay, so generally Tekla will not be giving you all the environments, 32 environments. What will happen if Tekla is giving all the environments while you are doing the setup? Then what will happen? You will be needing much more space on your system, right? Because to accommodate all the environment, say one environment will be say 500 to 1 GB space, then you might be ending up with losing a lot of space on your drives, right? So carrying all those environments every time while modeling, that will be space as well as consuming memory also, right? When you're starting Tekla structure, it will be consuming, it will slow down the Tekla, right? So that's why what we will do generally in the all the companies, if you see, they will be having a setup for a specific uh, project related environment. Okay, they will be doing the setup for a specific project. Say for example, if they need if they're having continuous work on certain clients like US clients, then they will be installing a US environment there. If more frequent usage is on US, then they will be installing the US environment there, right? So uh, if they are having some say Indian jobs are there, or some UK jobs are there in between, then they will install those environments. Okay, if it is required, then they will install those also, right? So that way we are using this environment option, right? And all those environments which you are installing in your system, only those will be listed in the environment box. And when you click on those box, that time you will be able to select the environment which are installed. Okay, only which are installed, right? So what this configuration dialog box is about, when you start a Tekla structure application, that time this box will appear in front of you, right? You will see when we start the Tekla structure, that time I will explain you what is a box, configuration box. I will just show you. So this is the configuration box, right? So environments will be listed there, and we have to choose from the related environment which you will be working on, and that way we select. Sorry, that will select the environments. Then next we have role. In role, you can see there are also items listed there. Different items are there like concrete, erection, steel detailing, RCC, rebar, all those things are there. So in this, we will be taking the steel detailing option. So this role, it will give you the uh, standardization related to the specific work what you are doing, right? Like steel detailing is related to the steel area. RCC is related to concrete area. Rebar is also related to that steel, but that is a different kind of steel, rebar. Then we have concrete, means there is a different kind of menus available in the concrete license or the concrete version. Okay, so that standard items will be available in that role. Similarly, in environments also you will be having a standard grade, standard member sizes. So standardization will be done according to these environments and role. Okay, so this is these two first options are for standard items. Okay, related, one is related to your work, one other is related to your material grades and everything, templates, all those things will be listed in the environment. Then we have this license. Last is the license. In this license, you can see viewer, drafting, and steel detailing. These are the basic types of license available in Tekla structures, right? So these are license. License means we will be having we have to purchase Tekla structure license. Generally, company will be purchasing these license. So these license are per user, okay, per user access. Okay? So generally, company will be purchasing it depending on the teams, available teams, right? So that way they'll be having this kind of license in Tekla structures. So license is also included in this configuration dialog box. So whenever you're working in Tekla structures, so you can get the list of available license. Okay, if the license are full, then you will not be able to get the detailing license. Then you can go for a drafting license or viewer license, right? But there are some restrictions in these license. Okay, say for example viewer, a viewer license will give you only viewing session. Just you can view model interface and drawing interface. You can just view items in that interface. You will not be able to modify or save in that area, right? In drafting, you have a partial access. Okay, in model partial access. Why I'm saying partial access is that you can view the model, but you will not be able to save anything, or you can not be able to modify anything in the model. But on the other hand, in the drawing area, you will be able to drawing, modify a drawing and save a drawing. Okay, you can make the changes and save in drafting. Okay, and in steel detailing, you will be having complete access over both the interface, modeling as well as steel detailing. Right. So that is the difference between these three license types, basic license types, right? Then there are many other license types also available, but we'll be dealing with these three mainly, right? So that was configuration dialog box, which we just saw. And this is the Tekla structures icon, which you are seeing on the screen, right? So once I double click here, once I double click, there will be a applications. Okay, this application has started now. Be you will be seeing the configuration dialog box on your screen, right? Right. So this is the configuration dialog box, right? Setup. Now they have named it as choose your Tekla setup, Tekla structure setup, right? So earlier it was named as a configuration dialog box. Now it is a Tekla structure setup. But you can see that what I explained you, that is environment, it is listed here, role, it is listed here, and configuration, this is license type. So you can see there are n number of roles are there, n number of environments are there. Whatever we are installing in the Tekla structures, so according to that, you will be having this environments listed here and roles, right? So you can choose any role from here, and here you can choose role from here, and here I'm choosing detailing, right? Steel detailing for complete access. I need a complete access there. So I'll just click OK. Once you have chosen all those things, environment, role, and configuration, then you have to click on OK, right? So once you click OK, Tekla structures application will start. Right? This is the application interface, and you will be asked to choose to open a model or start a new model, right? In the startup dialog box, there might be a startup dialog box whenever you are starting a Tekla structure, right? There will be a startup dialog box through which we can open a model or we can create a new model directly from the startup. Okay. Or we can go to a file menu and from there we can open new model or start a new model or open a new model or open an old model. Right. So this is a startup dialog box. Now we are seeing here. You can see that Tekla is asking me to open model or create a new model. So I can choose it from here directly, or I can simply close it and I will go here. Here is also there is open and new model. Okay, option available, and in toolbar also it is there. You can see. So when I say open model, you can see there is a dialog box pop up. Okay, so this dialog, what this dialog is asking you to choose a model, okay, from this list of models which I have saved here, right? And here there is a path. So whichever model you are seeing here, it is listed down in this path. And below you will be having the different parts which you have used earlier. Okay? So whatever path you are referring, it will be listed down here, all those paths. Okay? And this is the current path which you open when you access the Tekla structure before you logged out. Okay. So this is a recent one which you have used. So recent path will always be there. And this way you can go to the different drives. So drives which I already told that there will be map network. So you have to select those map networks and you have to go in the specific folder of your choice, okay, or of your work. And once you choose that, that path will be listed here and models will be listed down here. Path will be displayed here and models will be listed down here. And here you can see a different models description will be given. So what all contents are there here? Now we'll see. So for model, you can see model type is there, models, the name of the model, date and timing of modification, version of Tekla structure used, designer, this is user field, description template. These are the user fields or these are some fields related to your model, right? And this is environment. Last is environment. So even the environment is listed there, right? So you can always check what environment is used while creating that model, right? So that way we understand that when we are starting any Tekla structures, so which environment we have to choose. Here you can see there are different environments. US is this is US IMP. So this is US environment. Then there is a India environment. There is a Middle East environment, right? So these are the different environments which you are seeing there, right? So whenever we are starting a model, we have to choose specific environment. So that is the reason this environment is listed. So once you open in certain environment from the configuration, and when you go in this open dialog box and you see that, okay, I opened in, I got the configuration of India and this model is in UK. So you will not open this model because your configuration which you took, it is not matching with the model environment, right? So you have to again close this Tekla and go back to your configuration again. So you have to restart again that process. Say by mistakenly I opened the model in India environment, and in model and in this open dialog box I saw that there is UK environment listed. So that time what I will do, I will just simply close this and I will rerun that process of choosing the configuration. Okay? And I will choose their UK environment in the environments, and then I will click OK. And then I will proceed with the opening of that model, right? So that is the process you have to follow for each and every work, okay, work related to your models, right? So this is how the process goes. Actually, you have to be very alert on these displays. Okay, whenever you are seeing in your model, you have to always check environment and the model type. So in the model type column, you can see there are some persons. Okay, sketch of some person is there. One person is there, so that is single user. If there are three persons, then it will be multi-user, and the color will of that person will be in orange color. So that time we understand that okay, this is a multi-user system, right? So this is very important step of opening, right, which we saw just now, and you have to, everyone has to follow that step in the company, right? And when we open a new model, okay, in opening, while opening, if this is a single user and we have to open it in a multi-user, once this is created in single user, we can convert it to multi-user again. Okay, so how that conversion takes place? You have to right click here, open as a multi-user, then you have to put down the server name. Okay, right, the server which we have set. So that will be say app-server. Okay, this kind of name will be there. So we have to give that name. If you don't have name available, then there might be a IP. IP address will be there. Okay, so anything will work, either name or IP address. So that setting will be done by your IT department. Okay, so whoever is handling that IT department or a Tekla admin, either the IT will be there or a Tekla admin will be there who will be handling this settings. Okay, so we will not be doing this settings, but just we need the name and IP address, so that we will get from the IT department. Or if you are already having some team members working, so you can get it from your team members as well, so they might be knowing which model is having which kind of server. There might be a number of servers in a system company. So one server will be for one team, one server will be for another team. So that way also it can go. Or there can be a common server as well for both the teams. Right? So you have to just enter the address here and press OK. Once you press OK, your model will get connected to the server directly. Right? So that icon will be changed and your model will get converted to multi-user and others will be able to access. But if it is in single user, then other users will not be able to access that model, right? So it needs to be in multi-user in order to get it connected with the multiple users. Okay. So that is very important step, right? In opening model, which we saw just now. Then we will go for the new model. Now in new model, you can see there is saving option like we had in open. Okay, while opening also we are having this option, right? Where we are able to choose that drive, network drive, and it will list it down here, network drive, and here naming will be there, model name. So I will add here model name. Okay, and here there will be templates listed here. Now here you can see there are templates listed here. So we have choose UK environment. So you can see the templates related to UK are listed down here. You can choose this. You can select this, and once selecting this, those templates will be loaded, or the standard settings will be loaded in your model directly. Right? So this is related to your environment settings. So whatever data is listed there, it will be loaded directly to your system. So this is model templates. Then we have model type. Now here we have option for choosing single user or multi-user model, right? So now my single user is selected. So here this dialog box is, or this dialog is inactive. So what we have to do for multi-user, you have to select multi-user mode, and then this is activated now. See, you can add a server here, like same thing which we did in uh, changing the model to multi-user, right? So you have to enter a server name or a IP address here, right? So that way, this model will be converted to multi-user directly from your start. Okay, directly from your starting of your model. Okay? When you are starting a new model, it will directly get converted to multi-user. Okay? It can also happen, or you can change. Or you can change in between also. You can switch to multi-users from single user, right? So I'm clicking here OK. Once all this is set, you will just click OK. Once you click OK, you will get a default grid and a model view. Okay, 3D view and a default grid. And then you have to work on, you can start working on that items, right? Now grid and view will be created. So there you go. So here you will find, you'll find the 3D view and grid. Grid is listed here. You can select this grid by dragging a window like this. You can select the grid. And when you are clicking outside the blue window, this blue window which is outside, you can see this red frame is getting selected. So that is a property. This is a property of view. Okay, this view property. And if I'm clicking on the grid, double clicking there, so I'm getting this grid property. I can go ahead and modify this grid. Okay, I can go ahead and modify this views property also. Right? So properties can be modified. Grid properties can be modified. Then we have, these are the basic member properties which we are seeing here. These are the member properties, column property, beam property. We have beam property, right? Then we have polybeam. So this is derived from beam itself. Curved beam. This is also derived from beam. Then we have plate, counter plate. Then we have item. This is item property. Item is a different kind of element which is recently added in Tekla. So what it does, item, is that it gives more flexibility to Tekla. Okay? Because earlier Tekla was not that flexible in terms of cross sections, different kind of cross sections or different kind of material. Okay? Say for example, some materials are available. Say for example, some materials are available in mechanical. Some materials are related to the mechanical items, like a hook. Okay, hook, crane hook. So something like that is not available in Tekla, crane hook, or a certain kind of pipe supports, okay, which are not available in the Tekla. So those can be modeled in other software like CAD or SketchUp, and then we can import it to Tekla. So when you are selecting this shape, here you can add the, or here from here you can import it. Okay. So in the catalog area, you can import all those shapes, different shapes or different. When you click on the import, you see the list of available formats are there here. Okay, which we can import from different software. Okay, and list of material is also there. These are the Tekla materials. Okay, material used by Tekla: steel, concrete, timber, and miscellaneous. Okay? You can choose the material from here. Then there is a finish class and position. Okay, this kind of uh, items are available in these properties. Right? These are the properties of items. And then we have these menus. Different menus are a file, edit menu, view menu. These are very important menus. View menu, where we can create views of model by using different available options. Okay, you can use it for creating views. Create view of part. Part views can be created from here. Create view of component. Okay, representation. Okay, all these items are listed. Zoom, move, rotate. All these are certain commands. Okay, when there is a view property here. So this is a view property. Then analysis. This is related to the design license. Okay, so generally when you are using a design license, you will get an analysis menu in your Tekla structures. Right? So now we don't have that license. So we can see there is some items are not available here. So once we have that designing version of Tekla, then you will be able to access all the functions in this analysis. Then we have detailing. In detailing, you can see there are items related to the detailing area like bolt, weld, connection, okay, cuts, okay, different kind of cuts, surface preparation, hmm, surface preparation, reinforcement, okay, different detailing components. Detailing means it will be like if the two beams and columns are getting joined, so we can use this detailing area for adding connection, adding bolt, adding weld, okay. So this can be used for adding certain items, right? Then we have drawing menu here. In that, all the drawing types are listed here: assembly, single part, general arrangement, and multi-user. Right? So these four drawing types which we discussed earlier, this is listed here. Then we have reports, template editor for editing the layout, okay, title sheets. Okay, drawing sheets, title block will be edited here. So we are having this uh, option here for editing the title blocks. Then symbol editor is there. So different symbols will be there like not symbol, section symbol. Okay. So different kind of symbols will be available in this symbol editor, and we can add it or create a file out of that symbol editor. Right. So these two are application, third-party application for Tekla, which will be doing certain activities related to the certain task. Okay. Then we are having drawing settings. So drawing settings are the settings of drawing property. Okay, these are the drawing properties. So this is the drawing property which we are seeing here, and this is a view property. So in model we are having view property. In drawing we are having drawing property. You can see in model we are having, sorry, in view we are having view property. So that is view is related to the model, and drawing is related to the drawing area. So we are having drawing properties listed here. So you can see only four basic types are there for drawing property. Then there is drawing layout here. So drawing layout is for customizing the title sheets. Okay, this is for customization. Even these two items are there for the customization. Okay, you have to create custom sheets and custom symbols in this, right? And then there is a tool menu which is having all these listings, okay, related to our work. Then there is a window here, window menu, where you can arrange these windows, okay, cascade, horizontal, vertical. huh? Then we are having help here. When you click on about, here you can see what kind of Tekla structure you are using, what is the service release, and what is the license number, customer number, everything will be available here, okay, where you can see it here. Hmm. And other thing is help. We'll be having a Tekla structures help here. Now this is the online help. There is also offline content available. Offline help is also there. We can download that offline help from the set of files, right? So we'll be able to access the offline help of Tekla. So those are the basic properties which we saw just now. Okay. And this is a property for bolt. Bolt property where diameter is there, standard is there, type of bolt site workshop. Okay, we can choose different things from here. Whenever we are working on adding a single bolt, then we can choose from these options, right? Say if we have a weld, then we can choose from different kind of welds. Different types of weld are listed here. Okay, type, inter type, and we can choose from it. Then there is size listed down here. Here there will be the all around here or straight weld. This is for site or shop weld. Right? This is for position of the weld. So whichever direction you need, you can set that weld. Direction of a part. Okay, this is the direction of part. And then this is for secondary part or sub assembly. So these are two different things actually in Tekla structures. Sub assembly is a assembly created out of main assembly. Okay. So say B1 is there and there is a one bolted part connecting to B1, or one part is welded to the so beam is welded to a beam. Okay. So that can happen at some time, like a beam is getting welded to a beam. So one smaller beam piece is getting welded to a bigger beam. So that time what we'll do, we'll use this option as a sub assembly. So when we are using this, choosing this option, what will happen? There will be two assemblies formed. So you will be able to create two assembly drawing for same assembly. Okay, so assembly is same or it is one. So both the items will be assembled in a one single assembly, but you will be able to create separate drawings for both the assemblies. Right? It is confusing right now for you to understand, but once you start doing some model, then you will understand how this goes actually. This for placement of the weld for main part or secondary part. So while placing a weld, you have to choose two parts. Okay, so first part which you are choosing, that will be considered as the main part. Second part which you are clicking or selecting, it will be considered as a secondary part. Okay, and those parts will be indicated in color. Like when you are clicking on the primary part, it will be looking. It will be the color will change to red color. Okay, when you pick that part, that color of the part will change to red color, and when you pick the secondary part, color of that part will change to yellow color. With that color combination, you can understand the main and secondary part, right? And this is for preparation. This is for bevel weld. Actually, for bevel weld we need a preparation. Some preparation is required in the part. So when you are choosing this option, that time we will be able to choose that preparation needs to be in which part. It needs to be in primary or secondary, right? That we can choose from here, right? Then we have a tail information here where we can choose different types of infection level is there, inspection level. Then here you can see there is different standards, electrode classification. So this is a standard classification of welding. If we need it in the drawing, we can provide it from here directly. Classification of weld, electrode strength, electrode coefficient, all those things are related to the electrode, welding rod. Okay, and then welding process is also defined here. So if there is a requirement from client, we can choose this also, right? And then here will be reference text, like say, for example, if you need some special text inside your weld, then we can add it here. So it will be displayed in your drawing. So all these listings which you are seeing here, it will be listed in your drawing directly, right? You will be able to see the display of that weld in the drawing. So as we choose the options from here, those options will be available in the drawing. The same thing goes for the bolt, part, plates, connections, all those things will be listed in the drawing. Okay. So that's why this properties needs to be, you need to understand the properties. What are the properties of certain elements, so that in drawing you will be able to understand it more clearly, right? So that was the properties. And once you click on this properties dialog box, you can go in display and check. There are different listings available here, which you can turn and on and off. Okay. So this is related to the model. This is related to the connection. Connection are the components or the connection we say, which we are using for creating joint between two elements, right? For example, beam column is there, and you have to provide an end plate connection there or a moment connection there. So it will be added through a component. Okay? So component will be adding the related items there, like end plate, cut, bolt, weld. All those things will be listed in the component. So component is a like a block. Okay, it is like a block which will be having the so this here you can see the component listings are there. These are different components are there. So when I double click here, these are the component properties. Different components will be having different properties. So these are the properties of component. Here you can see different properties, different attributes are there, which we can set for a certain connection. Okay. So whenever we are going the connection topic, I will show you how these are going to be filled up. Okay. These are the standard bolt diameter, tolerance, thread material. Right. This is for all. This is for bolt. This one is for spacing and all. This chart will be different. This bolt will be common for all the bolted connection. Bolt chart is common. Only thing differ will this chart. This chart will differ according to the different case. Like shear tap connection will not have this end plate chart. It will be having a shear plate chart, right? So these charts are very important. You have to analyze this chart, and according to that, you have to modify the connection. Okay, in the picture, always there will be a picture listed in all the connection. First tab will be for a picture where you will be able to understand how you have to pick that connection, or first part where you have to click for a first part and where you have to click for a second part. So 1 and 2 denotes the primary and secondary part, picking order. So this chart is explaining you the picking order of this connection, end-plate connection. Okay. So with this, you can understand how you have to pick in modeling different parts, right? For example, this is showing one number for a column and two number for a secondary part, beam. So with this, we understand that column is a primary and beam is a secondary part, right? So what is happening here? If you see, beam is going to get end on the column center, okay, or it is going to be ending on the column, okay, and column is running throughout the length, and beam is getting stopped at column. So beam is a secondary item, okay, or it is a connecting part, and column is the main part. Okay, so connecting part and the main part, you have to always be clear in this. Okay. Once you start doing n number of model, you can understand this concept. Okay, connected part and connecting part. Okay. So column is considered as a connecting part, and beam will be considered as a connected part. So this is connected to the connecting part, right? So this like picture explains you in all the connections. If you see, there is a picture given for more detailed explanation of that picking order. You can see here also there is a picture chart given here, right? So this is how it goes for uh, properties which we saw just now in the model. In grid, you have to enter the grid properties this way, and there are some important things like this is for creating a view, creating section view. You can create a section view out of this by picking 2 points like this, and you will get a view, section view. You have to press Control P for 2D view and Control P again for a 3D view, 2D and 3D. So this is Control P, control. On your keyboard there will be an option control, and you have to hold that control and press P. Okay, so you will get plan view. Okay, now again you have to hold and press Control P, then you will get 3D view. So that is a switch or a shortcut for switching between plan and 3D view, and that is also listed here in the view property. You can see here plan and 3D view. Here also that option is there. So I can control it from keyboard shortcut as well. Control P is the shortcut for that. Control P, right? So that was all for this introduction. So we'll end the lecture today, right? I'll just save. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.